Welcome back all to another video. There's been plenty of these of late, I think you'll agree. And this is my first pickups video for the best part of 3 months. That's quite some time actually, to be fair. And only because I was kind of getting a bit fed up with every time I picked up one or two things or five things. It's just a bit much. And I know some people quite enjoy pickup videos, you know, see what's out there, see things that they haven't seen before. I think you might well see some things like that in this particular video. I've got no less than 36 different pickups for you. And I'm also thinking about doing some pickups from a digital perspective as well, seeing as that's the way it seems that the future is going. So anyway, today has been a great day. Been out of the Evesham medieval market. Always a good day out, that is. Big shout out to Gary at, I think it's Gary, yeah, Gary Davis, yeah, that is right, at fuffle.co.uk. So Fuffle is basically like a mix of fudge and truffle. It's really unique, you've got to try it, and some of the names that he makes up for this stuff is brilliant. Like, instead of Terry's chocolate orange, you can't use that because Terry's is obviously copyrighted. His is called Gary's chocolate orange or something like that flavour. So yeah, and his Fufflechinos, well, they're absolutely awesome. But have a look at that. So that's fuffle.co.uk. Anyway, the pickups. Right, so I've got a mixed selection here. Got some, like Generation Pixel says. I think he called them like green box people or something, or blue box people. I don't know. The fanboy stuff of people saying, oh, this is better than that and that sort of thing. I don't go down that route, to be honest with you. All you got to do is look at n4g.com and see the amount of, what are they called, Sony ponies or something? I don't know, that's what some people call them, but it's just ridiculous, you know. Why not just be a lover of all games instead of just, you know, we all have our favourites, of course, you know, back in the day in the 90s, you know, you were either Sega or Nintendo, but there were people that were Atari, you know, and some people that were Commodore, you know, we forget that. But anyway, quite a bit of stuff to get through here, and definitely one big hitter. Definitely one big hitter. Very pleased to pick that up yesterday. So, as the sun is shining, cider on the go, always. And let's get started, okay? Because I'd like to be able to do things like some of the other guys that do things a bit more professional, you know, like uh, Generation Pixel after these. And well, that's not really how I roll. You know, I just do it for a bit of a laugh. So, like a lot of us, it's just sharing our passion, really. And obviously, some of us do it in different ways. So, again, I always digress. Let's get started, shall we? Let's start off with one of them that was mentioned. Jesus, he's getting mentioned a lot today. Generation Pixel, Resident Evil 4 on the Xbox Series X. I've done this 6 times now. So I completed 6 times over. I've done it on all difficulties. Oh no, I haven't done the hardest difficulty yet, but I will do. And I've got to the point where I've got the unlimited hand cannon, the infinite rocket launcher, amongst other things. So, you know, but thoroughly enjoyed this. Only problem with it being that the control scheme was really shit to begin with. But I did a bit of tinkering around with my Elite Series 2, and that seemed to make it fine. And then they issued a patch which apparently has resolved that. I'm not really entirely sure, but I haven't really played this for a while now since I got it. I got this on the day it came out. Was it the day it came out? Maybe a week later. It moved on since then. But we'll go back to it at some point. So, next one was another newbie. Well, not a newbie really, but I got this for 20 quid. Can't complain with that. Brand new. It was on a bit of a lightning deal on Amazon, and that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. What's more there to be said about that? I haven't completed a single player yet. I'm about halfway through. But again, way too many games to get into it. Next one. This is definitely a hidden gem on the Xbox 360. I've been playing a little bit of it. Really quite surprised at how good it really is. And that is Singularity. Definitely one worth picking up. It's pretty damn cheap at the moment, as with most Xbox 360 stuff. You'll also note that I tend to go through these quite quickly. There's no need to sit there and go on about what it is, unless you really must know, you know. But there's other people out there that do that. This is just what I've been getting over the past 3 months. Next one, there's a little bit of a backstory to this. Not the best game in the world. Prototype 2, limited edition. Now, I got this in CEX in Evesham. And I noticed that when I got it, it still had the seal on it, but it was opened. But it's as if it had just been opened. The box was brand new. So I opened it up and I checked on the unlock codes. Okay, so I checked that. It's still got the CD as well. I checked the unlock codes. So there's a few in there actually. There's the, pardon me, there's the for your avatar. And the codes hadn't been used. So I was actually really pleased to get it, you know, and I had a bit of fun with it. Never played the sequel, but played the original. So that was like about £1.50, I think. So it was really chuffed with that. Next one I got was another 360 game. This one was actually, I saw it was recommended by, do you know what? I can't keep up with him, and he hasn't changed his channel name for a while now. But I always refer to him as DJ Johnny Mac Gaming or Johnny Mac. I think it's John's Retro Gaming now. So correct me if I'm wrong, John. But he picked this up. And I looked at getting it from CEX too, but I was like, no. And then I found that you can get these still brand new on eBay. And eBay? No, on Amazon. So I got this for, at the time, I think it was about, I can't remember, was it 7 or 8 or 10 quid? Brand new, never opened. So, you know, this is a now no longer brand new because I opened it, and it's a, yeah, look it up. It's a weird one. It's not for everyone. Next one's a PlayStation 1 game. I wanted it for ages because I forgot how good this really is, and that is Ridge Racer, the original Ridge Racer, or I think it is actually called in some places the Ridge Racer. So yeah, I've been enjoying that, and you will notice if you watch this channel, you would have seen I uploaded some footage of that quite recently. I need to make some space here because it ain't going to go down well otherwise. This was a charity shop pickup for 20p. A while back now, maybe last month, maybe the month before. Just play it's Worms on the PlayStation. So it's cracked. It's got a cracked box. Hasn't got the instructions, but it plays fine. So I don't really pick up much PlayStation stuff. Next one is a Mega Drive game, Virtual Pinball. The geezer that I got this off, for the best part of almost a year, he had this on Facebook Marketplace. Would not go down in price. Would not take anything fucking less. And I kept on. I said, basically, I put an offer in. No, can't do that. I said, I'll message you in 2 months then. And then I did that every 2 months. Still wouldn't come down. Eventually got him down. Eventually, I think I paid 14, 15 quid for it. Little bit beyond what it's worth, especially condition it's in, but still really enjoyed that, and there is some gameplay footage on my channel of this. So out to Mr. Cash for that. I can't remember if I've ever mentioned this one before. So next one, I think this is a real hidden gem, and I forget what there is. There's a channel that I follow that actually were playing this last night, of all things, and I got this from CEX. Yeah, online as well, and I was really pleased with it because it's nice and complete, and that is Tatsunoko versus Capcom Ultimate All Stars. This actually is really, really good fun. I highly recommend you pick this up, and it's not many people seem to know about it, but yeah, that's another one. Try and get through these quite quickly because there's a lot to get through. Another Wii game. Remember playing this in 2008, I think it was. When did it come out? 2008. There you go. Emergency Heroes. Fun little game this is. Quite enjoyed that. And I haven't played it again since 2008. So, but it was another CEX special. You're probably wondering where all the CEX stickers are. You see, I make sure all the stickers come off all of my stuff. I use a nice little bit of isopropyl alcohol to get rid of that. And jobs are good. And now I'm not sure if I've mentioned this one before, but I saw it advertised. I like Hell's Kitchen, and it's Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen on the Wii. But why not? Although Gordon Ramsay doesn't swear in it. But I'm looking at doing a video where I can take his catchphrases and add them up, like dub them over. That'd be funny. I think that'd be funny. But yeah, this is another one from Mr. Cash. Now he had it advertised for 25 quid, which I think all of you will agree here that is worth at least 25 quid. Okay, and I played the guy down a bit. I was just kind of like, oh, I didn't know anything about games really. So I said to him, I said, oh, I'll come and get that this afternoon as well as these other games, because there's a couple other games I got off him as well, which we'll see in a minute. It's not in the best condition, you know. There's still this old cash converter sticker on there, and no amount of isopropyl alcohol is going to help that, because it's going to ruin the rest of the box. But it's all in there. It's all complete. And he went online. Now, bearing in mind, this had been sitting on his account for the best part of 6-7 months. No one bought it for 25 quid. I thought, oh, I'm having that whilst it's there. Nah, he went online on eBay and found like it was like 40, 50 quid. So I ended up paying, I think it was 35, 40 for it. I think it's worth it. Discs are really clean, so you're starting to learn now why they call him Mr. Cash. So, right, well that one can sit there because I need to show that one in a minute. So you would have probably seen the video footage of this on my channel if you haven't already. These are ones I hadn't even heard of, but I picked up Donald Duck Quack Attack for the GameCube in Aldershot CEX. I think it was in March. Saw it there. I can't remember, again, I don't know what I paid for it. I wouldn't pay over the odds for something if I didn't think it was worth it, or at least I wasn't going to enjoy it, because it's, for me, it's, am I going to enjoy this game? Not how much money can I make on this game, because I don't buy games to flip them. I don't. I always say I'm going to, but I never do. And that's why the missus doesn't like the fact I keep buying more and more fucking games. Another GameCube one, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. That's the player's choice one. That was a CEX in Evesham job, and I think it was about 4 or 5 quid. No manual in that, but I really do like Billy Hatcher. It's a great game. Not for everyone, but obviously made by Sonic Team. Another PS2 one, Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. Would much prefer the original Xbox version. Probably not ever going to get that unless I go to one of these mark gaming markets like Doncaster, Birmingham, Norwich, London. You know, who knows. But for the meantime, I've got this version. Happy with that. Do enjoy a bit of Outrun. Bit of a fucking oddity, this one. Another PS2 game. But I saw some video footage of it once, and I thought to myself, well, I've got to have a go on that, because it's absolutely ridiculous. And that's Little Britain, the video game. And that was from CEX, and it is in fucking mint condition. Probably because no one fucking likes it. But anyway, yeah, but no, but yeah. I want that one. So, let's kind of keep this sort of switched up a little bit. Number 361, CEX. I think it was in Worcester, I believe. I had some fucking geezer accost me, basically, when I was in there. He wouldn't fucking leave me alone. Oh, God. I swear they let the loonies out that fucking day, because there was 3 or 4 of them, and the whole shop, all the rails with all the games were in a fucking mess. Like, seriously. But I found Catherine in there, right? And I found it, and it never been used. It still had the seal on it, so I was happy. That must annoy some people that don't like breaking seals on stuff. But hey, that's what you do, not what I do. Started this, it is actually pretty good. I do highly recommend this if you get the chance to pick it up. I just waited for years, kept thinking I'm not going to play that game, but my mate Benny said about it. So out to you, Benny. And therefore off I went. I'm pretty sure it was him that mentioned it to me. Another cheapish game, no manual in it. But if you like a lazy, like a mind-numbing, not mind-numbing, but just a nice, just blasting big bugs, just for the sake of it. You know, to waste half an hour or so on a Sunday afternoon. Well, Earth Defense Force 2017 is your game. I'm telling you, out of all the Earth Defense Forces, this is the best one, I think. And it's dirt cheap too. It's a great laugh. It's much better with multiplayer. But on your own, it's still a lot of fun. You just blast these massive bugs and robots and stuff from this alien invasion, and it's just mind-numbing goodness, really. That's what it is. Another one I did a video on. This is definitely a hidden gem. The graphics in this are fucking awesome. The gameplay is absolutely fantastic as well. And I mentioned this to a couple of people recently. Just said, look, you know, you got to pick this up. This was not a CEX special. This was a Music Magpie. And everything's in good nick, but there's just no book. But there you go. Apache Air Assault. Highly recommend you pick that one up if you've got a 360. That is a fantastic game. I think it's on the PS3 as well. So if you're a Blue Box fan, you can pick that up. Another 361 CEX. I think it was £1, but it's an Ultimate Edition of Injustice: Gods Amongst Us. I already had Injustice: Gods Amongst Us digitally, and obviously the second one as well. Got the Ultimate Edition of that. Saw this again. I had to pick it up because it's the Ultimate Edition. It's got everything on the disc. Why not? Another IP that really needs to come back again is Fear. So Fear 3 was the next fucking one I picked up, and that was dirt cheap. Another CEX. This was from my local one, Evesham. I think it was Evesham. No, I may have got this one in Worcester. It could have been Cheltenham for that matter. I can't remember. No, it would be definitely Worcester or Evesham. I'm sure you know all about the Fear games. They're very well made. Next up is a Wii game. You probably may or not. Well, you probably wouldn't have seen it because it's got fuck all views. So, and that is Sonic and the Black Knight. This is definitely an underrated game in my opinion. I've been quite enjoying this of late. I'd say it's definitely better than Sonic Unleashed. I'll give it that much, and it puts a new twist on things. I'd give it a go. It's worth it. Oh, still in the vein of Sonic, this was another one from Mr. Cash, Mr. Graham Cash, and this was I don't think I'll pay very much for this, but I'm gonna need to get this on the GameCube as well. But I just hadn't heard of it and thought, well, I'll give it a go, and that's Sonic Gems Collection on the PS2. It's got Sonic CD on it, Sonic with Fighters and Sonic R, and 6 Game Gear games on it, which I think's a bit much, really. It's not very fleshed out with stuff, but you know, it's something a little bit different. So more GameCube stuff. It's actually a fair amount of GameCube stuff left here. I've got to go through. But I don't know why I got this, because it just happened to be there. But Zelda: The Wind Waker. I've had this so many times in my fucking life. But I bought it again, and it's now staying in my collection. So it's got obviously the bonus disc in there as well. Yeah, Zelda: The Wind Waker on the GameCube. Next one I picked up, never had any interest in it, and probably will never ever have any interest in it, but decided to get it purely on the basis of the fact that it'll probably go up in value. That's Pokemon Colosseum. Unfortunately, it's not the one that's got that other extra disc in it, but it's still, you know, I had a quick go on it. I was like, yeah, it's all right. You know, the only Pokemon game I really like is Pokken Tournament on the Wii U. So that one will just gather dust. Another GameCube game, Tetris Worlds. What's more to be said about Tetris? You know, it's Tetris. That was from Evesham CEX. So I was just, because, you know, when I see anything new GameCube related, I'm always straight there getting it. Another 360 title. Already got this on the double disc, which came with, I think it was Burnout Paradise. Burnout Paradise and Trivial Pursuit. And I still like to play a bit of Trivial Pursuit. I'm fortunate enough to have all the DLC for it as well, because I got this when it first came out in, was it 2010, I think. So what have we got on here? It doesn't say on there. It probably does, but I can't be asked to squint at it. So yeah, Trivial Pursuit on the 360. Another strange one, and it is a really shit game. I can definitely tell you this. Okay, but for some reason it seems to be relatively sought after. And that is Rambo the video game. Well, I have to say it's a light gun game, but you use a controller. It's a bit like Time Crisis as well, but it's fucking awful. The control is awful. Look up a video for it, because it's that fucking bad. And all the voiceovers is from the films, and it's really fucking bad. Like, it's all grainy and it's just awful. I don't know quite how this managed to get through quality control, but anyway, it is what it is, and it's in the collection. Another GameCube game, another Donald Duck game, Donald Duck PK. This one I picked up off eBay. This comes complete with the comic book as well. I've actually quite enjoyed this one. I think this is a bit of a hidden gem, to be honest with you. I like it. You don't really see it very often. I have to say, that's why I picked it up. I was like, never heard of that. In all the years I've been gaming, never heard of it. So pick that one up. This was another CEX special in Evesham. Everything's in there. Happy with it. Never played it yet, but I've heard it's okay. That's Tomb Raider, the special edition on the 360. So that's nice. That's nice and complete. I don't really care about them being complete, but it's as some people say, it's always nice. Down to the last 5 now. Well, it's actually 6 because one I can't show you because I've ordered it and there's a little story behind that. So next one's a PSP game, and what a fucking game it is. Okay, that's Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. Well, I saw that one in Evesham CX and I had to have it. I think that was about 15 quid, something like that. 15, 20 quid. Thoroughly enjoyed it as well. Thoroughly enjoying it, might I say. Which you know, adds nicely into another PSP game, and that is Ridge Racer. Never had that one and wanted to get hold of that for the PSP. Hence why I got the PlayStation 1 version. Ridge Racer. So, next one is another GameCube game, and that is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. What more is left to be said about that? It's Pro Skater 3. Then an Xbox One, my only Xbox One game I picked up, The Division, because it was only £1. It was my mate Benny again that said about that. He picked up a few games after not buying anything for a while. So he picked up The Division, so I had to get it myself as well. Have I played it? No, but I have installed it ready on my Xbox One X, ready to play at some point. So it's there and waiting. Now, there is a big hitter. A big hitter. Not in the size of 2, 3, 4, 500 quid, but depending on where you go, you might have to spend that amount. Well, before we get into that, the next game that I've ordered, which should have been here, but it took 5 days for CEX to cancel my order, telling me it wasn't in stock when it clearly was in Plymouth. Who knows what happened there? Maybe it wasn't in stock. Or maybe they decided to keep it themselves because they knew for a fact that 15 quid was too cheap for this game. Especially the collector's edition. And that is Deadfall Adventures. Okay, now Deadfall Adventures is a first-person shooter on the 360. Apparently it's on the PS3, but I believe it was only released digitally. You can't get it on the PS3 anywhere, as far as I'm aware. Because I couldn't find it. So the collector's edition on CEX currently is at £15. Whereas the standard edition is £18. What the fuck's that all about? That's what makes me think. There was one copy of now the collector's edition on CEX. I ordered it, and it took 5 days to come back to me and say my order's been cancelled. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because I reckon it's going to pop back up and they'll put it up at 25 quid. You fucking, I bet they fucking do. So I'm keeping my eye on you, CEX. So that I went onto eBay and I found a copy for 25 quid. So I've ordered that. So I'm looking forward to putting some gameplay footage up of Deadfall Adventures. So I paid for it. I've got it. Just can't show you it at the moment. So that brings me to the last game. The big hitter. The one that I was literally in Evesham CEX yesterday having a little mooch. And I saw it and I was like, I don't think I've heard of that. I'm thinking back now, I think I have heard of it and I have seen it once before, but it never registered with me. And I saw this in there and I saw the box and thought, oh, it's a Super Nintendo game or an N64 game. And I looked closer and I realised it was GameCube. And I was like, yeah, that explains why it's 110 quid. So I went out of the shop, went for a little wander, got myself a pot, coffee, and had a little look online and looked at this thing. I was like, right, okay. Japanese version, 70 to 80, 90 quid. American version, 100 quid. PAL version, 150, 180. There's even one on there at the moment, 190. And this, I went back into the CEX and I asked to look at this. And I'm pleased to say it's in really, really good condition. And that game is The Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures. Or the Four Swords Adventures? Adventures? Yeah. Which comes with... And the quality, this is in really, really good condition. Okay, there's no marks on this at all. It's got everything in there. The disc is in fucking... There's not even a smudge on it. It's got all the other stuff with it. Everything is complete on this one. It's in really nice condition. And just to add a bonus to it, the Game Boy Advance cable, which is here, has never ever been used. So that's a plus. Okay. It comes with the little GameCube booklet as well. There, as you can see, the box is in the outer box is in absolutely fantastic condition, other than that at the back. And by looking on eBay, there's actually quite a few of these, and I think that's just because of when you got it, it still had this sticker here. I don't know if you can see that half moon there. It had this which would just rip that. It would just rip the plastic, but that is in absolutely exceptional condition. And I'm looking forward to playing this. So all I need now is a fucking Game Boy Advance. So I'm going to have to go and buy myself a Game Boy Advance SP now. You don't necessarily need it, as far as I'm aware, but I'm going to get it just for that authentic experience. But no, I'm not going to go and buy it. Three other Game Boy Advance link cables and 3 other Game Boy Advances, because I don't have anyone to come around and play the fucking game with me in the 4-player multiplayer as it should be played. So I'll have to enjoy it on my lonesome. But that, other than Doom Eternal Collector's Edition, is the most amount of money I've ever paid for a game. And this one is going into my special glass cabinet, because I am not fucking putting it anywhere else. I can tell you that much. And that's it. That's all my pickups for the past 3 months. So I will not be doing another pickups video for another 3 months. I always think there ain't that much more I want, but there's a few games I'm still after, like Wonder Dog on the Mega CD, for example. Maybe Star Wars Rebel Assault on the Mega CD. But to be fair, it's generally a case of when you're out and about and you see something, you think, oh, because I never had any intention of buying the Four Swords adventure ever. It never even popped into my mind until I saw it yesterday. So that's my pickups. So thanks for watching. I know I probably bored you a bit there, but or maybe not. I don't know. But I don't deliver things like a lot of other people do, but I do it honestly and truthfully, and just me. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to sharing more stuff that I have and that I love in the future. See you later.